And here we are. This might be the last XG files we do in England.
Ever.
Until next week when I'm back because I ain't got a visa.
Or you never go.
Yeah. So for anyone thinking, they're just trying to make the vlog dead good. No, we're not. Like Ronnie's got his. I do not have mine. My flight is in 22 hours and I don't have a visa. I've officially entered flapping territory.
I think it's funny that
I thought it was going to be
one, but you don't.
Yeah, we've now
That's
used
what's funny.
3 different email accounts to make sure if this thing goes through.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
How did his get done? His got done in 4 days, by the way. Mine's been doing a month.
it was even less than that. The only issue was just my picture being a bit wrong. That was it. And it was done overnight after that.
Wow, do you reckon they'll be able to get yours done in 6 hours then?
No, I don't know. Might have to pull some.
We better hope
You
so,
might- no,
because
I-
otherwise we're going to have a few problems
We are
with
going
content.
to,
Might
we
go-
are going to find out, aren't we?
might have to be some pull strings having to happen. Do you know what
I
I mean?
think we're doing a Vibrant 5 podcast out of Dubai. So
There's
I
alternative.
might fly to Dubai, but that's not the plan, is it though? So I mean, if I rock up at Qatar tomorrow at midnight is when I land. I mean, I think technically we've got till tomorrow at midnight.
What? To get it sorted?
Well, yeah, because I imagine if I can download it while I'm standing in the queue at the airport,
Yeah.
like we're all good, aren't we?
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting a text when you're in the queue saying,
But
"Check your
realistically-
email"? You'd be like, oh my fuck, wow.
Yeah, like we're sorted.
Last minute.
You're just gonna have to find a way to get some signal and download it. All right, no problem. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a potential drama.
You just sitting out in Dubai, just waiting for
For a text.
that thing to eventually happen.
Don't mention whose house we're going to because it's not been announced yet. But we are
I think there's worse scenarios than being trapped in
that guy's
Dubai.
house.
Yeah, in Dubai.
With that guy.
Yeah.
Wearing one shoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a true influencer life.
It's not. It's
The-
not really
the
the
element out there.
It's not the worst.
You know who we're
scenarios.
with, right? Don't mention it.
Yeah, I do.
Right. Okay.
Drama though, innit? It's like the drama.
Yeah, I don't need it. All I want is just like because obviously it's graft. The amount of shit that we've had to do, all the serial numbers of all the fucking equipment we're taking, it's a nightmare.
How long is the flight, Doha to Dubai?
I think
like
it's
40, 50 minutes.
Oh, really?
I thought you said from here to Qatar is like 6 hours.
6, 7 hours, 6:50 I think it is. Yeah, so
You got a magazine for the plane?
Ronaldo's got no headphones.
You-
What sort of lunatic? For starters, I don't know what you're going to do on a train. We're going to train at 5. I don't know what you're going to do on a train.
I just sit there and wait.
He just sits there and listens.
the window in the dark.
Listens to that that single of his brain working.
Nah, you literally don't have to. You don't have to travel with headphones or earphones. I've done it all the time.
Honestly, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Literally, I can sit there just on my phone a little bit, even with no connection. Just the time passes.
Deep in thought. Bit of meditation, yeah, I'll rate that. Become in tune with that.
But if it's that much of a problem, I could literally go to a corner shop on the way there and get some £10 earphones. Would that make you happy?
It would, yeah, because I think that's some serial killer shit, man. Who the hell can sit there? Like, I can't sit without constant stuff in my ears. I mean, my tinnitus is well bad at the minute as well, so I need some tunes.
Yeah.
Or an audio book. Listening to one at the minute, the expected goal. So it's an expected goals one. It's very, very good. A bit about the history of sort of football analysis, essentially, and how it was, how it really came about. It's just called Expected Goals by Rory Smith. Very good, yeah, because it's not really about XG. There's no tables in it. There's no things like that. It's more about how this sort of trade developed. It's interesting.
That is interesting.
Because it's brand new. It's like some of the people that are leaders in the field were 16-year-olds from Bangalore that were in their parents that were just like pulling data from places and writing blogs. And football clubs went, that's pretty good, that. And hired them.
Do you want a job? Yeah. Can you imagine that?
It's
your
insane,
first
that.
job?
Imagine that. Imagine that was any other field in football, like a manager.
Robin Harmon says Ronaldo's the sort of bloke who doesn't wear headphones at the gym. And you're right, I don't think that's that weird, though.
It's not. I always find it like
I'd go
depends what
home.
mood I'm in.
I would go home and come back.
No headphones at the gym, just straight work.
Isn't it? There's music playing usually anyway, so you sound.
Oh, no.
If you're at Pure Gym, fucking
There's
hell.
literally music being played on the speakers.
Do you chat to people at the gym? Have you got mates at the gym?
Like
Yeah, but
people
I don't
you see and you
chat.
chat to.
Yeah, but I don't really chat too much. That's a waste of time.
Do you get
I need to be in and out, especially I go there peak hours.
busy man?
I could tell you some stories about the gym, but the individuals probably watch this show, so I'm not going to do it.
No idea.
He
What that
knows
means.
what I'm on about.
Grind.
No idea.
Afternoon, Brian. IR says, how does XG actually work? Well, it's a relevant question considering this is the XG files. Essentially, expected goals has calculated the location and circumstance of every single shot and worked out the percentage chance of that shot going in based on how many shots from that location and circumstance have gone in all of the matches that have gone before it. So if there's something bananas happens, like there is 100 halfway line goals scored consecutively, but no one else is shooting from the halfway line, the expected goals of a shot from the halfway line is going to increase
Yeah.
because it's in a constantly evolving kind of thing. It's not like a set score. It's every match that gets played and analysed, more importantly, because like Paddock's games aren't getting put into the calculator, for example. It's being so there's a couple of databases that everyone uses. They're the same databases, and they will give you a slight variation in the score. So you might say this game was a 4.2 versus 1.7. Another platform might say it was a 4.0 against a 2.1.
Yeah, that's always confusing.
They're generally in the same sort of ballpark. And what expected goals is there to sort of count is the quality of your chances. Now, when it was first devised, people would say, for example, I think Klopp in his final season at Dortmund was considered unlucky because they dominated games, dominated XG, and either drawn or lost. Mm-hmm. You can say unlucky because you had the chances based on XG to score that. Or there's another way of looking at it, which is the Gabriel Jesus way of looking at it. Gabriel Jesus got like 9.4 something expected goals, but only 5 goals. Now you can say you're unlucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest that throughout his entire career, he has consistently underperformed his expected goals. I'm just going to say he's gash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you can. There's both sides, but obviously, if you're getting into those positions and not scoring them, that's on you, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's worth analysing a team, and I think Midtjylland, I think, were one of the sort of real teams that tried to go and look at data in a big way, and they got a bit of shit when they first created their sort of thing because they called it the Table of Justice,
Right.
which sounds a little bit Marvel, doesn't it? But they called it the Table of Justice, and the Table of Justice was how they thought they should have been in the league, i.e. 16 points better off than they were, based on that they were outperforming teams by 2-3 expected goals, and they should have won games that they didn't. But again, that's the thing. If your team is consistently getting brilliant XG, look at Brighton last season, for an example. If your team's consistently outperforming its XG, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But the striker might need to have a let's have a word, our kid, because if it's one person especially consistently under his XG, you got a problem. If you've got someone that's outperforming their XG, like Lewandowski for a few years massively outperformed his XG. Erling Haaland's killing his XG this season.
Not just them two. Thingy's quite famous for the outperforming of his XG his whole career. Heung-min Son.
Yeah. There's another one.
Like he's insanely overperformed it. I think I might have seen where he's overperformed his XG by nearly over 40 goals for Tottenham.
Wowzers.
40.
Yeah.
How long has XG been used? Because it's not as old as like other stats that have been used. It's quite a recent thing.
It's a relatively new sort of development kind of thing, yeah.
And it is a good stat, but it is still at the end of the day,
Well, that's
it's a
it,
tool, isn't it? It's still a stat, and they don't tell the whole story.
The way it sort of came into being with the Table of Justice at Midtjylland and people, someone who's an analyst that had just started work at, I think it was at Dortmund, telling Klopp he was unlucky. I think that's maybe the incorrect way to utilise this tool. I think it is a measure of how efficient a forward is. You generally see the better forwards that your eyeballs are telling you he's a good forward, he's a good forward. You're seeing that in his XG. Now, someone might say, I actually favour what Gabriel Jesus does off the ball and out of possession, and I'm happy to take his underperforming his XG. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But be aware of it.
Yeah.
But be aware that this guy's probably going to need 2 chances that a normal XG would score with to actually get a goal.
Yeah, but you can quite simply just look at how Arsenal, since he's signed, are top of the league, and they're going to be top of the league at Christmas, and say, well, he's obviously a good.
We're not here to
forget
spread
his
any. No, we're not spreading any Arsenal positivity.
I'm just saying
So,
that
we're not ain't doing that.
stats tell a story, but in the bigger picture, they're sometimes irrelevant.
Yeah. Every single stat has been used, abused, and misinterpreted. Possession is probably the first one a lot of people look at. Okay, where was the possession? Because there's correlations between positive things happening, you winning games from every single stat. Like generally, the more corners you get, the more your XG goes up. Not because there's any sort of direct influence on XG from corners, but that you're having. If you've got a significant number more corners than your opposition, one, you're having a lot more shots, or at least crosses, and 2, you're also camping generally in the opposition third.
Yeah.
Not and
Completed
also
passes in the box.
Apparently, headers are quite heavily.
Is it? I don't know that one.
Headers do sway XG
Why?
positively. Not quite sure, but a header from 8 yards out, no matter the circumstances, gets weighted quite heavily in XG.
It's just like a shot, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jake Speaks there, says football is the most unpredictable team sport. None of the mathematical models can predict the outcomes. Well, that's because it's an open skill. It's an invasion game with 22 variables on the pitch and various levels of performance, skill. The referee is a factor. The weather
So
is a factor.
Then.
Yeah, there's more things going into this than just that team are better than that team.
Yeah, like the All Blacks, for example. You just like a team that dominated that consistently for that long. It's so much rarer for that to happen in football. So much
Are you
rarer.
laughing at the Vin Diesel comment?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Afternoon, Vin.
It's just the fact that someone's gone through the amount of effort to do that. Do you know what I mean? I think about how much time people have to make a Vin Diesel YouTube account, to put family in YouTube comment chats.
I'm not doing that.
During workouts.
Brian says, most important, will we have Steve at the Manchester Enterprise Academy on Saturday? All I'll say is it depends on the next 24 hours, I guess. I reckon the chances of that have gone up in the last hour.
I'll be there.
How have they gone up?
How's it gone up? That
Visa.
I'm going to be at the Paddock game on Saturday.
Oh.
Because
yeah,
I think the chances of me going to Qatar tomorrow have gone down. That's why.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, every single stat, possession in and of itself doesn't actually correlate as well as you think it would do to victories and positive results. Passes completed in the opposition box, though, that does.
Yeah.
In a big, big way.
But the thing is, most of this you can just tell by watching a game on your eye anyway. Do you know what I mean? You sort of hinted that earlier, but it's like you can just tell. You don't have to look at the stats all the time.
But yeah, and I think some analysis, like I think the expected threat one, either I don't understand it enough yet, or it's complete bollocks, and it might be a bit of both, to be honest.
Expected threat.
Yeah, because it's weighed heavy by teams that favour one side. If a team favours the left, then you're progressing up the left more than you're progressing up the right. And if you're a player on the left-hand side, it's going to be higher than the people on the right side. It's a bit of a weird one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one. And if you've got a Mark Hughes style striker that all he does is set it back, it's pumped up to him. He's having a big battle with all the centre halves, and he's just setting it down for someone. He's kind of a negative expected threat. But what is he doing? He's bringing people into the game, developing third man runs, things like that. That's a massive. So yeah, expected threat is one. What I'll say at the moment is I either don't understand it enough or it's a load of bollocks.
Yeah, fucking.
It's one of those two.
Threat.
Right. So the title is why Manchester United will win the World Cup.
Because they've got the best group.
Someone, got an easy route to the final.
Best group, and we have the second most players from a club.
Well, there's a legitimate reason. I think it is the second most. I think the Premier League's sending the most amount of players.
Yeah, I think City are first, we're second, and
16.
it would be amazing for Eric Ten Hag to win a World Cup his first season.
What a first season that would be.
Freddie Tash.
So yeah, obviously the number of players that United have got representing the club at the World Cup is significant. But aside from that, I think the spread of Manchester United players at the World Cup is virtually just amongst the favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem
So
like
we've got Holland, Argentina, Denmark, Portugal, Uruguay, Morocco. Can't forget Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco.
France, England, and Brazil.
Yeah. So
That's
for me, Argentina,
Some good
Brazil,
teams there.
Argentina, Brazil, France, Portugal. I think that is your. I know that they have to meet each other on the way, but that is your semi-final sort of bracket for me. That's your teams that you're expecting to hit to the semi-final.
there's a player missing from Holland.
Huh?
Van der Beek.
Is he gone?
So
Antony,
few cameo appearances.
is Telles still
into
ours? Is
the
he on
squad.
loan?
Yeah, he's on loan.
Yeah, he's
Sevilla.
That counts. Fred and Casemiro. So we've got 4 Brazilians. So we might as well be the Maracanã United.
Brazil.
We've got 3 in the England squad. We've got Rafael Varane at France. Obviously, Hannibal is Morocco. We've got Uruguay. We've got Palestri, who's still on the books, and Cavani, who's still in our hearts.
Never played for us.
We've got Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, and I think that's it at Portugal. We have got Christian Eriksen.
Nani
at
didn't get in the
Denmark.
squad, did he?
I'll Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Malacia at Holland, and then Argentina ballsed up by not taking Garnacho, but they did take Lisandro Martinez. So
16.
So who you
Obviously,
have?
the likelihood is
speaking of Nani, though, we'd like to congratulate the greatest Portuguese player to ever play for this football club on his birthday today. Happy birthday, Nani.
I mean,
to be fair, I thought he was second behind Bruno.
Or Ricardo.
Oh, it's top 3.
If he carries on playing, Delot's going to be in there. So so obviously there's a lot of. I would say you've got those 4: France, Brazil, Argentina, Portugal. Those are your teams that they can stand there with a straight face and go, "We can win this thing."
yeah.
But then
yeah.
I think your teams, Germany, Spain, where we've got no representatives.
They're the only 2 that can win. That
Yeah, then you're looking at what maybe.
They'll have
I
to
mean,
play
it's
out.
all right. I wasn't reading them names or anything that you've just deleted. Can I get the names back? No.
Like, Gunners.
Who you having?
Gunners. I didn't hear you.
I think then you've got the likes of Holland, England, Germany, Spain, where I think they're not quite winners worthy. They might find themselves in a final, perhaps.
They're
Stop
not as good as
highlighting
they were.
Morocco.
They once were.
For starters, Hannibal's at Tunisia, not Morocco.
I think.
Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, with Spain and Germany, like, because they've both won the World Cup recently, you compare their sides to what they were, and they're nothing like that. So I don't think those sides are winning the World Cup. I don't know. I've just got a feeling it's going to be Argentina or Brazil this year. It's just you just look at the squads and you just think, how
Is there a
can it
way
not
for
be
him to
one of
meet
them?
in the final?
I don't know. Someone predicted.
I've done a prediction,
Argentina final.
and they do not meet in the final. So without giving everything away, they don't meet in the final.
So
Are you allowed
what?
to go through your
What is the best
predictions?
Well,
possible?
no, because that ruined the video that's coming out this week.
What's the best possible video though?
What's the best possible video?
Not video. The best possible final solution in terms of the way it's
Who
structured.
have you just said?
Portugal, Argentina.
Portugal, Argentina can meet.
Messi,
in the final.
Ronaldo final.
Jesus.
Can you imagine that?
Go on, Messi.
Nah,
Always knew he was the GOAT.
come on.
So yeah, they can actually meet in the final. Now
Well.
that would be scenes, wouldn't it?
That would
Oh
basically
my
wait,
God.
both of their
Brazil
last
or
World
Portugal?
Cups.
Portugal, Argentina
Yeah,
can be a
Both
final.
of their last World Cups. All the stuff that's happened with the drama of how he's left Barcelona, United, and the Ronaldo situation. I don't think he could possibly get it, but I think
Can I just say?
I think
Messi-
Qatar will be pulling a little bit of strings for that
Me-
to happen.
Right. You know this Ronaldo interview? Messi did an interview a year before he left Barcelona, slating the club as well. And just everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, but he left.
He left a year later.
Yeah,
But they
but
were
he
like begging for him to stay.
United aren't begging
I-
Ronaldo to stay.
No, I want him to leave, but it's kind of just like everyone's just like, oh,
You know what you've just
he's
done
the
there?
worst thing in the world.
You know
What?
what you've just done there? Classic case of whataboutism.
What about his
Christopher
Yeah.
Matthews dropped in a super
That's-
chat, says, off
No,
topic,
because-
just found out we share a birthday. Where's your birthday, mate?
Whose birthday? With Nanny? Oh, with you? Sorry.
Your hard work, Dre.
Happy birthday.
not
If it was with Nanny.
It's not his birthday.
No.
Anyway,
So yeah, who are you having? Who are you having to win
No,
it?
it's-
Genuinely.
no.
Ronaldo.
But going back onto that point, no.
I think Argentina are going to win it.
I think Argentina. But
It's got to be them or Brazil, isn't it? I just
'Cause,
can't, I can't
can you
pick
imagine?
between the two.
Can you imagine Martinez walking back into Old Trafford with that World Cup?
Yeah, it'd be
Have you heard that Declan Rice has apparently brought an empty suitcase to bring the trophy back in?
Has it?
Yeah.
Right. He'll be going bananas on a duty free, getting loads of sprays on the way. He's not going to do fucking now.
Just gets loads of fucking massive dairy milk chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Just whacks them in the
And-
suitcase.
I hope we get to speak to. Well, for starters, I hope I actually get there. But for seconds, I hope that I get to speak to some England players. Because if I get to speak to Declan Rice, I'm going to be like, "Is it true you brought a suitcase for the World Cup?" I'm like,
After they've gone out in the
"Can I have
groups.
it? Because you're not going to need it."
Mr. Geckos makes a good point. I think he says, but Messi was performing on the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Ronaldo's not. Yeah, well, Ronaldo's not even.
That's
getting on the pitch.
that's what I think a lot of people have decided, that his performances on the pitch, people are just like, not asked. Anyway,
He didn't have a last year,
we're going to
though.
talk a little bit more about Manchester United winning the World Cup and keep it on topic after I've talked to you about your testicles. This holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped and the return of football's biggest stage. My pride for my dong squad and my country have never been stronger since Manscaped upgraded my grooming game with the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Avoid a Marwan Fellaini bush in your midfield and clean up your midsection with Manscaped, proud sponsors of XG File Show, and join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer by going to manscaped.com, getting XG20 code in there, and getting free shipping and 20% off. Get amongst it. And we are back. So the chances of Manchester United bringing the World Cup home, as we've said, probably the big four. We have players in that camp. A couple of the outsiders, we have players in that camp. I think
Denmark.
the only people that could really do is obviously, I think Spain and Germany are the only ones in like the top 8 where
Yeah.
we haven't got a representative.
I don't think a United player has won the World Cup whilst being at United since like Nobby
Since
Stiles
Paul
and
Pogba at the last World Cup.
stuff. Oh fuck! Before then, shit, I forgot about that.
Anyway, I said upstairs.
Do you know what? Sometimes
listen,
my research has gone west, and this week it's gone fucking west.
Yeah,
and sometimes
having
you
a dodgy
wonder,
week.
why the fuck has that happened?
It's just a bad week, man. It's a
it-
bad
it
week.
has
It's
been-
been
it has-
good up to this
it's been
week.
a
It's all
techie-
gone
it's
to a
been-
bit
it's-
shit.
It's been a
but
bit of a
look,
techie week, and now we even got
learn, don't
Hannibal
we?
Tunisia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whose was that? Whose mistake was that?
Oh man,
Notch says, which fancy
wasn't
team
me.
will be the biggest failures? I think France have got an implosion in them.
Yeah, I think with Mbappe being the way he is and stuff,
France
just
aren't-
imagine him just being a bit of a dickhead and just
Like,
being
I'm taking all
shit.
penalties and throw-ins.
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
What are you on
I
about?
can imagine. All throw-ins.
They're not
I
in
want
good.
set throw-ins.
They're not in good
You're a
form.
forward,
man.
get in the box. I want set throw-ins.
They're
There's
in-
not a lot of teams in great form, to be honest. Joe is
Argentina,
Argentina.
and Denmark,
Yeah, weirdly Denmark. Yeah.
which is a dark horse. What I keep telling you.
Brian says, "See you in Qatar, brother." Well, you will if you can help me sort a visa, mate. Check my emails.
It's your pessimism.
I don't
It's
know.
not pessimism.
I
it's
do-
Yeah,
factism.
but it's factism. But you got to remember,
emails.
there's alternatives.
Alternatives.
You just got to like chill on the beach for 4
Yeah,
days.
right, we're going to Dubai.
With
I've
did-
got no accommodation in Dubai.
yeah, exactly.
say
That is why I said sit on the
Yeah.
beach.
Is that the
well,
first flight? Are you stopping? it?
Well, no, I'm going to Qatar, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, so have you got your hair card?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, no." And they'll be like, "All right, cool." So I'm going to be like Tom Hanks in that film Terminal, just sitting there waiting,
Oh, I need to watch that. It's gonna
or
be good.
instantly deported. One of the two.
I don't think you'll be instantly deported, but you could be sat there for like 10, 15 hours. They'll be like, you can sit here until your hair card comes.
So you fucking think about what you've done,
Yeah.
hey? Don't do it again, will
I
you?
can actually picture him saying like, you chill there until your hair card comes, no matter how many days it takes, and you'll just be there. Like,
Fucking hell.
fucking hell, that'll be hell.
It'll be a nice airport.
Sazanga says, "I think Argentina will bottle it watching the Netherlands." I just can't see it with the Netherlands. Obviously, Louis got tournament experience before with Holland. Did
And he
well.
did very well with
Did
them,
very well. But I can't see it. I think it's got to come from those four. And I think that's where United's World Cup happens.
Hasn't he been Netherlands manager 3 times now?
Sounds about right.
That's mad, isn't it?
O'Hanlon says, Etu said he guarantees Cameroon will win the World Cup. They're 300 to 1. I've got £3 on it just in case. How are you guaranteeing that?
They have two promoting up front.
Okay. I'm not sure how you're guaranteeing it.
He's got experience in different leagues.
Yeah, but how would you guarantee it?
I don't know, you can't guarantee anything in life, can you?
Denmark won the Tour de France. Maybe they'll do a double. I didn't know countries entered it. I honestly don't know enough about the Tour de France to be commenting on this. So.
Denmark won the Tour de France.
Mozanir says, no one's talking about Portugal. Bruno and Bernardo could cause havoc on every team. I think people are. I think we've literally just said they're probably going to hit the semi-finals, or should be.
I think they'll bottle it. I think they'll be the big team who like look good on paper who bottle it. And I just think like
People saying got a big star that's got a big ego that's going to fucking widget up for everyone.
People saying Belgium as well.
I don't think it's to do with Ronaldo.
I think that golden generation of Belgium's a little bit over the pale.
Yeah.
A little bit now.
Yeah, that's the most overrated football nation of all time. Belgium. It's gotta be.
What, over England?
Well, no, England got to a final, and Belgium haven't done that, have they? Have they not?
The comments will tell you in about
I don't think they
10,
are.
15 seconds.
I just think Belgium, one of those
And you gotta
teams,
hope.
every single tournament, people are, Belgium look good this year, don't they? And they're like, yeah, but they just never win anything, ever.
Ed says Portugal on paper are a great team.
They are. I just think they'll ball. I don't know what it is. I think they had such a bad Euros
This is what makes that
and they're not-
potential Portugal-Argentina final fucking mayhem, doesn't it?
It'd be so.
I mean, if it is,
it'd be so good.
Thing is, I'm only ever gonna care have a passionate feeling in the World Cup if Jamaica make it, and that's just never gonna happen.
They made it before, haven't they? Was it 2002 they make it?
Yeah, they never made it before. I think it was 2002. I think Peter Crouch. I remember going to an England-Jamaica game at Old Trafford.
That was.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was ahead of one of the World Cups. I want to say it was before 2006 World Cup. Might have been 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
They had a couple of friendlies there. Yeah, and that was one of them. Pete Crouch, that's when he did the robot, wasn't it?
Yep.
Why do I know that? Why do I know that?
Yep.
Because you're a football guy, innit?
I know, but it's full of useless shit. Why don't I know, like,
Something happened in
I'm
Old
proper
Trafford.
crap at, like, betting and stuff.
I always say that.
But I'll tell you when, Peter Crouch, who did they do the robot against and what year? And I know it. And where? And I don't even like Peter Crouch.
There must be a way to make some money out of that knowledge.
Doubt it.
Somehow.
2006.
Right,
Why the fuck do I know that?
98 was when they last in the World Cup, so obviously year I was born.
Who was their best player?
In 98?
Would I know them?
I have no idea.
No.
Probably was me.
So I'm guessing they go through like the North
Hang on.
American qualifying
If I
system.
can fucking
Ronnie.
even name a Jamaican player from 98.
Do you reckon Usain Bolt would have got in the team when he had a short football career?
No. Have some respect. Have some respect to Jamaica.
What standard did he play at?
Who?
Usain Bolt when he had like a very short
I
career.
don't know.
Don't
man.
think he
I
starts
I
with
think,
Paddy.
I think it was the Antarctican 5th division or something.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
he's
It was like
I'm going to have to cave in and
League
Google.
L in Australia. Oh,
This is just full of. I was thinking Fitzroy Simpson. That was
Who
what
you
I was
play
literally
for?
sitting here thinking
Who
of.
do you play for?
Fitzroy
Was it Derby?
Simpson. No idea.
Yeah, Marcus Gale. Might be
Ricardo
one of the names you
Gardner.
know. Yeah, Ricardo Gardner. Donovan Ricketts.
Who's Ricardo Gardner?
Theodore Whitmore. I think he was pretty good,
recognise
actually.
the
Robbie
name.
Earl. That might be one everyone
Who's
knows.
Ricardo-
Is that why it's Dion Burton? Frank Sinclair. Daryl
Nah,
Powell.
Dre, I refuse to believe you don't know
Paul
Ricardo
Hall.
Gardner.
Let me see a picture of him, and then it might come to me.
Ricardo Gardner, he played for years in the Premier League for Bolton. I swear.
No. That's not their top scorer. He had 2 goals.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, they only scored 3 goals at the World Cup.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Denmark will do better than people think they will. They're a good team.
I think Bolt is in the wrong position. I do. He wants to play on the wing because he's fast, right? But you don't play him on the wing because he's fast. You know where you play him?
Centre backs is tall,
Bingo.
wins headers,
Wins headers
and gets
and
rid
ain't
of it.
getting beaten behind.
Yeah, like Harry Maguire.
Like this is the perfect centre. Honestly, if you was just talking from a pure physical basis, just the pure physical stats of a centre half, it's Usain Bolt.
Thing is, he wouldn't even be fast in football because it's a completely different type of sprinting.
What?
Surely he wouldn't.
Right.
He didn't know.
He's not gonna be slow though, is he?
No, he's not going to be slow. But I think about how long he's going to
Wait,
have to
wait,
take.
wait,
him.
wait, wait,
He'll
wait,
have to-
wait.
When has
No,
Usain
right.
Bolt? Listen,
Listen.
when has
No,
Usain
no,
Bolt
you
ever
listen.
turned?
Listen.
When's he ever turned and then
Wait.
sprinted?
Listen,
Probably
he's the
never.
slowest off the line against world-class sprinters.
Wait, wait, wait.
Yeah.
That means he's faster than every other
but
human
think-
outside of them 10 blokes.
No, because you think about some of those stats that you see on Twitter about players running like ridiculously fast times over like period.
Wait,
it's
wait.
usually someone
pitch.
doing a recovery run.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez got one between the 2 boxes.
So you've just said Bolt wouldn't be fast.
Chris, clip this up. That's a fucking good. That's good.
That is
Usain Bolt fast? Yes or no?
Of course he's fast, but he won't be as fast on a football pitch.
Why?
I'm telling you.
He will.
He'll be quick, but it won't be like,
I don't
wow, that
understand.
guy's like quicker than everyone else. It won't be like that.
The
It's taking
quickest guy that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Fastest human being ever.
What if he has to like
Not
do a quick turn? He's got to do a quick turn, and then he's got to like.
He'll
catch
make
with
it
someone.
up because I don't know if you know this. He is literally the fastest human being that's ever lived.
I don't
So
know
guess
about
what?
that. What about some tribes?
He
some
could probably
Aboriginals?
finished his tweet, put his phone in his pocket, then go catch him. What's anyone about? Usain Bolt's
Oh,
not
mate.
fast. Fuck's sake.
I can't
I
believe
didn't say that.
You
I mean, you
basic-
did.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
On a football pitch.
Usain Bolt's not fast.
When has Usain Bolt ever not ran straight? Or a little bend on the 200 metres?
But he's
I don't
played
know.
football. He plays like Sunday League or maybe Saturday League in Jamaica. Like, this isn't like he's like, oh, I have no idea what the metrics of running and moving are.
He's like walking down the street, he just can't turn.
Yeah, he's like, he has to wait till he gets to a junction
Yeah,
before he can
you're
go
basically
90
making it
degrees.
seem like
They're bad,
he's
man.
some mechanical robot that just runs in a straight line.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I don't
probably
I don't
won't be as
think you
fast as
understand the athleticism of professional sprinters.
Of course I do.
I don't think you do because you basically say acting like they can't run in a different line apart from straight. The amount of training that they do with their lower body, agility stuff, all sorts, plyometrics. I can't believe you actually just said that.
All I'm saying is, if you
That's-
got one of the fastest players in the Premier League and you got Usain Bolt and they were both on a football pitch and they both had to like run after a ball, there wouldn't be much in it.
Right,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
What are you
That's
asking
I'm saying.
centre halves to do?
Head
Chase
the
back a
ball.
ball that's been pinged over the top, no problem. Well within his wheelhouse. That's why I think he's actually not that suited to being a winger. Because a winger does need lateral agility. It needs a lower centre of gravity than, what is he, 6'7" or 6'5"?
He's
He's
six,
fucking
massive.
massive. innit?
6'5",
Six,
6'5".
He's
big.
6'5". So a guy that's 6'5" and well built, I mean, what do you reckon he weighs? He's a 225, surely.
Yeah, lean and strong. Yeah.
So he's jacked. So he's not going to be someone that's lightweight. He ain't going to get a lot. This isn't Ryan Giggs drifting over the ground like the wind. This is a big fucking dude. So him at centre half.
Ben Ashurst has said, Dre's got a point. Usain Bolt wasn't the fastest at Soccer Aid. You're right, it was Lee Mack.
The thing is,
Right.
we're not on about
Clearly
that.
wasn't trying.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? All right, so,
Lee
all
Mack
right,
out sprinted him.
so basically what you're saying is Lee Mack and Usain Bolt chase after a ball. It goes... Because the thing is with one game as well.
Usain Bolt stride. Mate.
Yeah, the thing
He's
is
there in
with
2
one game in
fucking
soccer aid
strides.
is it's not like sometimes I reckon Bolt played that whole game and never sprinted at full pace the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know.
know
Usain
what I mean?
Bolt's
So it's
fast.
well-
But yeah, 23% say he's not fast.
There's more of you dickheads. No way. What is going on?
Harry Maguire quicker than Bolt. We're taking it a bit far there.
So
That's where I draw my line.
I think from a physical point of view, I mean, like being 6'5", you've already got. You don't even really need to jump for most headers. You just head them.
Yeah, that's
He's a
true.
massive physical presence. If he gets handsy with you, like you're gonna struggle. I mean, he's a fucking well built guy. You're not gonna get away from him. I don't think. I think his problem was thinking he was a winger. If he could, all you got to do is teach him the timing of a tackle and make him play simple passes.
Yeah.
He'd just be like an upgraded Chris Smalling.
Kind of quickly, obviously moving on, there is a question up there, other than the passport one, that I actually do want to explain it to me because I don't know.
What?
And it is a fascinating concept. Time zones.
It's all to do with...
Can anyone...
Oh,
'cause
not
obviously-
time
'cause
again.
now we're going Qatar, yeah? Can anyone in the comments explain time zones to me?
Are you fucking mental?
I mean, because I don't know
Dre,
time
go
zones.
get me a ball.
Do you know
get me a
anything?
ball out of there,
do you know
please.
anything about them at all? What do you want?
Just go and get me a ball. Get me a football, and I'm going to use
Oh,
this
if he's
as
in a
the sun.
bottle.
No, because it's a question I wanted to ask anyway because we was going on to XG and all
All
the
right.
people in the comments.
Science with Steve and Ronaldo. Are you ready? I can't believe we're doing this.
I don't know why you're acting as if everyone just is meant to know that, like, about time zones.
Okay. There's the world. Through the medium of a...
What
Got
a
away with
catch.
that. Right. Mitre football. Let's say where the E is Manchester. Okay? We'll go around this being the equator and this being Let's say this is Greenwich Mean Time. In fact, yeah, where the cross is there, we'll say this is Greenwich Mean Time, this is the equator, so this is like the UK up here, okay? Are you following me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Qatar is about a quarter of the world around this way, so it's ahead. So let's say it's where this cross is, right? Now, if we was to say something very basic, I'm probably a bit low here. If it's 12 noon, when the sun is directly ahead, right on top, at the highest point, yeah, the
yeah. I get it now.
Right?
I get it.
So,
I get it.
when Qatar is noon, we're not at noon yet. We're 3 hours behind. So it's got to spin 1/4 of the way round to get to us, which means it's gone until 3 o'clock on this side and then 12 o'clock on
that
this
makes
side.
sense. So it's just a 3 hour rotation of the sun difference. Right,
Yeah,
makes sense. But the reason why I ask is because obviously it comes down to the fact that time zones is about time. And this guy got into my head last week that time isn't a thing.
Are we going to go into that again?
So
What is going on today?
Before we go into that, though, time zones are interesting because China, right? Big country, takes up a lot of space, probably takes all of that up. One time zone.
Yeah, America's got like 8 on it.
2 or 3? No, 3, I
Or is
think.
it Russia that's got 8? Russia's got 8
Russia's
or
got
10,
8,
I think.
Yeah. So it'll be like 4 a.m. and like it'll be like
Russia's probably done it
going
for
down.
Russia's probably done it for an administrative reason.
you know what the funny thing is
Wow.
in
Just
school?
imagine having a country with different time zones. It's mad, isn't it, really?
yeah. Well, isn't there like an island
no,
that like,
because
had its time zone changed?
Some
So it'd
people
be
are
the
half an
first
hour
island
difference.
to be in the time 2000 on New Year's Day.
Everyone's talking about obviously the school thing and the fact that I've asked that. I did history in school, not geography. And my GCSEs would actually surprise you. I want everyone to guess what I got in my GCSEs at school.
Yellow.
And I reckon they got it wrong. They can't guess.
4. No,
He clearly did well in his GCSEs because he went to university,
it
right?
was A's and B's and C's.
And no one's more shocked than him.
I'm not shocked.
But yeah, so that's how time zones work.
But yeah, it's all
Not just said,
human
can you explain
constructed.
precession. I believe precession is the wobble in what looks like the stars, because Earth obviously spins on a slight axis as it's going round, right? But it doesn't spin on a perfect axis. It occasionally does this shit as
Does
it
it?
goes. Yeah. So that's precession. I believe it's in 10,000 years. At 10,000 years, it goes. Roop. And you know there's 13 constellations, not 12. And we're supposed to have 13 months or 28 days. And then there's one extra day, which gives us the 365.
Yeah. Do you reckon?
listen,
do you reckon if
I want my
everyone in the
13th
world-
month, you bastards.
So, so Big Lebowski says, what I got 2 A stars, 6 A's, and 4 B's in my GCSEs.
I just,
So, John, you
just
meet-
did better than you.
Do you know when you meet people
Do you know what I mean?
and they're qualified but thick as fuck? No common sense whatsoever.
Cleverer than you think.
Yeah.
No,
Ronaldo's a
qualified.
clever guy, man.
Do you know what I mean? There's just certain things I
some
don't
ways.
understand.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is
what time is.
Hang on. That is why the fastest man on the earth isn't fast. That is how time zones work. Ronaldo's GCSEs, what precession was, why United are winning the World Cup.
Because they got an easy group.
And does anyone know anyone in Qatar that can help me out?
If you'll be sound, mate. Just when you get there and they ask you for it and you don't have it, just say, look.
Just go, I ain't got it.
Just show them how many subscribers
So
you
you said
got.
Ronaldo, what's 5 squared? 25.
Yes, lad.
Got an A in math.
Did you?
Actually did.
Right. That's us. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We'll probably be having a look at a reaction to Ronaldo's part 2 tonight. If you would like to tune in, I'll catch you in that one if you do. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.